So, class, I learned something today. I learned that, in canon, a P-dove is a foot tall and weighs just shy of 5 pounds. Which makes sense, birds have hollow skeletons. Now, the reason I'm bringing this up is because apparently, without evolving, P-dove can learn fly and carry this, I don't know, 10 to 15-year-old protagonist and the enormous array of items that I'm carrying just all across the world. Just anywhere I want to fly, it will take me. I want everyone to kind of have that mental image in mind. Just this foot-tall bird carrying this this essentially almost young adult protagonist. Just fly to the sky on this little foot-tall bird. Stop, Snek. That's the entrance to the Relic Castle. Yes, you told me to go to Relic Castle, Sharon. That's why I'm here. You impressed with Snek making it here before I did. I pulled a P-dove out of my box and flew, dude. Dealing with the Desert Resort's Pokemon took longer than I would have thought. I used a Max Repel, because these things are like 20 levels lower than us right now. I only made it all the way out here thanks to my Pokemon. Alder went on ahead, let's hurry. Now, the thing that I will just go ahead and say is if you have the smallest bit of self-awareness, you already know what the punchline of this entire story arc is, and this is just filler. Hi. 2 things I learned about quicksand. If you try to walk through the middle, you'll fall. If you try to run through it, you'll fall. Neat. Not how quicksand works. Second thing, Pokemon just started making noises because you're in the ruins, or is it because of you? What? Now, you could try to go into the Relic Castle earlier in the game, but you can't get very far, I think, thanks to some sand that they were excavating. Looks like this guy I probably could have fought at the time, but... well... Now... The whole thing is that they're sending you to Relic Castle on a bit of a side quest. But honestly, it's just to stall for time, because anyone who's played through the game with any level so strong, who are you? I'm the hipster Snek. The thing is, all of this is a very obvious setup for a very dumb punchline. Seeing here fills you with magical power. It fills me with something, but I think it's just indigestion at this point. Because I'm just gonna go ahead and spoil it. I mean, spoiling a 10-year-old game, well, whatever. It's the stone. It was the stone that I pointed out when we walked through the Nakarine Museum back during Lenora's gym. They literally like, oh, this is just a pretty rock that we put on display. I'm like, come on, they couldn't have like highlighted it, hiding in plain sight any harder if the game literally just put a neon sign around the thing. And honestly, the entire thing just... Relic Castle exists just to waste the player's time, which is why I'm going to keep Max Repels on the entire time, because at this point, like, we're really close to the end of the game. There's actually not too much left happening. You see me full of magical power? I'm really not. I'm full of pretension and mild irritation at this particular leg of the story. What's up? Oh, right. Obligatory fossil choice. Cover, I believe, gets you the fossil turtle, and Plume gets you the weird, plant rock guy, so I'm gonna take... Swim? I heard that it is a fossil of a Pokemon that used to swim in the ancient sea. Museum in Nakarine City. Her Pokemon can be restored from fossils there, because Laura loves bones and fossils. What's up? The sand is cleared away, so you can now you can proceed. This is where you would have been held up otherwise. Alright. Guess has told us that once again, we should test how much power you have. You don't need to do that. We'll see if you can defeat Team Plasma. Okay? Go, hurry and fall to the flowing... Oh, okay, you're not gonna do it yourself. You're gonna have your hired help me. I've heard about you. I heard you are Pokemon hard. Not really. No harder than any other trainer. Well, you guys are getting a little more aggressive. You have 3 Pokemon this time, so I suppose there's that going for you. I'm playing a little safe. Can someone please tell me, fundamentally speaking, what is a fighting type? Now, this isn't one of those things I was thinking about the other day, so a friend posited the question of, like, if you were to remake Pokemon ground up and you could change anything you wanted, what would you change? And I'm like, well, what's the point of fighting type? It's normal type with extra busy work. And honestly, it being super effective against Steel doesn't even make sense. And I get it, they're trying to make a reference to Iron Hand. Like, but that's, again, that's normal type, but with more steps. If you really, really, really just have to have your flying types have an advantage over Punch Boys, just make it strong against normal type and take fighting type out of the game. Why do we need fighting type? I don't know. It's one of those weird things that bugs me. I heard you're strong. Yeah, that's what I heard exactly. Neat. Am I the only one who thinks like that? Because, like, fundamentally speaking, what is the difference in fighting in normal, anyway? Not in its mechanical execution, but, like, in-world explanation. Glad they made that transition as slow as humanly possible. Yay, free stuff. Fight me. Dude, please my Pokemon lose. I've seen interviews with translators for the Pokemon games, and I know they have a lot to work around. Space limitations, cultural references, the fact that the Japanese apparently really, really, really like dirty jokes. But I have to ask, why? Like, why do these people speak in these weird, stilted... That's not how normal people talk, is the point I'm trying to make in so few words. Make my Pokemon happy, lose. Like, nobody talks like that! Yeah, better. Watch out. You know what? I'll use roll for this. But yeah, that was kind of my first step, was like, get rid of fighting type. Just out of the game completely. Honestly, I don't really feel like fairy type was even necessary, if we're being just perfectly honest about it. And honestly, it just seemed kind of a compensatory measure, because they were like, oopsie, we made dragons, like, good. Like, we made ones that weren't quad weak to ice. And, you know, here's a really wild idea. Like, you can still have your dragons and normal elements. What a trainer. Yeah, whatever, pal. You can still have everything more or less the way it was configured before. Just make ice resist dragon. You could have ice resist a couple different things, and it would be fine. And no one would need to, like, stop identifying ice as the glass cannon typing, but they took it way too far. Can't change the world without a little pain. And as Ditaku noticed in one of the comments during this Let's Play, is like, ghost-type weaknesses seem to just be random. Like, it's almost a meme template for just, like, how nonsensical a lot of it is. And like, one of the things about fairy types that I do kind of give them credit for is, if you started the games with Gen 1, the way I did, like, Poison was up and away the worst type. Because it had, like, no upsides. It basically wasn't strong to anything that Fire wasn't already strong to. Except that Psychic was just, like, so omnipotent in Gen 1. And even Gen 2 and Gen 3 to a lesser extent. Dark and Steel were designed to limit how overpowering Psychic types were. Which I think was good, and I think Dark and Steel are fun typings. Ouch, I don't like pain. You're an idiot. But, yeah, Poison was worthless. And the introduction of Fairy typing really just made it so Poison actually had something to do. Shadow Ball. Oh, that could be a good one for Cindy, I think. Let's have a look. Shadow Claw. Close, but not exactly. Oh yeah, this is gonna be perfect. Yeah. 50% accuracy does not a good attack make. That will give Cindy a stab ability that will help a lot. Now, that's entirely the issue, though, isn't it? I mean, the typing, some of the typing stuff is perfectly logical. I'm gonna come back to this. I'm gonna go heal real quick, and we're back to it. So, as I was saying, a lot of the elemental table doesn't make sense. I mean, some of it's fine. When you get to stuff that's perfectly demonstrable, I'm talking like water beats fire. No, fine. That makes perfect sense. Whatever. Now, the problem there then becomes that really kind of stops making sense when you get to the more esoteric typings. But honestly, those I think are the more interesting ones. Bug, ghost, dark, dragon, fairy, etc. And as said, like, Fairy's greatest contribution to the game was giving poison type something to do. And I'm sorry, I'm also gonna say, any idiot who designs it where moving less than full sprint is, like, ideal, you're doing it just to waste the player's time. Though in Freezer Pokemon, there's no winning or losing. That's not how this works, moron. If you design a mechanic like the sand pits, where literally the only point is to slow the player's progress, you're doing it just because you're not respecting the player's time, not because you're trying to create something interesting. I'm just saying it. Yeah, Bug is strong against Dark. But do you know why? You don't know Pokemon. Oh, it was like this. You know why Bug is strong? It's because bugs are associated with Japanese tokusatsu heroes like Kamen Rider. That's literally the rationale behind it. Otherwise, Bug is just modified grass type. Oh, good. Have to buy more of those when I get the chance. Yeah, Bug is just grass type again, but in some capacities worse. You're really gonna fight me while we're standing on the slope. Okay. Pokemon are too good if likes of you. They're amazing. Putting them in your hands of foolish trainers can bring nothing good. Isn't that kind of like arguing that because there's some bad drivers in the world, no one should have a driver's license? I mean, that's the kind of logic we're working with here. But, yeah. Like I said, Game Freak... Some things are very cultural, like the whole Bug beating Dark thing, but then also some things just make no sense, like why does Dark strong against Ghost, and why is Ghost strong against Ghost? It's like, I understand Dragon beating Dragon, because in ancient East Asian myth, I did not mean to do that, in the ancient East Asian myth, you would see that like only a dragon could beat a dragon, because dragons were just like the apex of mythical monsters. What does that do? So, like, that makes sense. Like, why does Ghost beat Ghost? That is the weirdest thing to me. It seemed like they couldn't decide any kind of logical rationale, so they just kind of made it up as they went a lot of the time. Yeah. And then also, another thing I would do if I were given the power, I'd combine Rock and Ground into one typing and just call it Earth. And be done with it. Because it's kind of goofy that they decided to split it up in the first place. Because between Earth and like, metal, which is what it should rightfully be called, which, by the way, why is steel not weak to electric? Steel is a great conductor. The entire elemental table is a cluster, is what I'm saying. Ah, annoying. And, like, I'm sorry if this episode ends up just being me complaining that Game Freak can't design games, because, like, that's kind of been my MO this entire Let's Play. But it's true, though, and it's frustrating, because I think an elemental system should make cogent sense at a glance. It's actually one of the things I really liked about the Boktai games, is like they removed any ambiguity, because it's just, hey, opposites are effective against opposites. No questions asked. Alright, double battle, let's do this. Fight me. You fight you for a young king, that's it. What? No! There's two of you! Why? Why can't it just be a double battle? Why does this game hate me? Oh my god, I did not mean to use Uproar. You know, it's whatever. Heaven forfend, we actually have some element of strategy in our fights. Might as well just take turns swatting each other with sticks. Because why not? Well, you know, I think my best Scraggy answer is my Scrafty. This is a bit of a double-edged sword kind of solution, but we're going with it anyway. And I would chop out some of the excess fluff from the elemental table if it was up to me. My king, I'm so sorry. Yeah, well, you're wasting my time, so you should be apologizing to me, not him. If you fought me both at the same time, we'd be done already, but no, you had to do this. I won't tolerate people who have different ideas. I could take a screenshot of this, frame it, and name it every single conversation on Twitter, and sell it for like $1 million. That got a laugh out of me. That was good. Like, that's another thing about poison types that I've kind of considered over the years. It's like, poison type is just kind of the designated bad guy typing. Because, like, what was it in Gen 1? Oh, well, like, it was Koga's typing. Like, he was this ninja assassin. So, like, it's associated with foul play and being underhanded and cheap. And it's like, it's so much more than that, because so much in the world is poisonous or toxic in some capacity. Like dart frogs. Dart frogs are beautifully, brightly colored frogs. They're brightly colored specifically because it's like to warn things. Hey, I'm really, really deadly, don't eat me. But it's like, there's so much more to it, and the way poison types are treated, they're just like always these really muddy, washed out, dark purple palettes. Like coughing. Stands for no. Not in the mood for techno right now. Ah, I won't forgive you. That's nice. Let's see. I can go get that item, but that's gonna set me back. Yeah, I don't care. Items in Pokemon dungeons tend to be garbage anyway. And honestly, I just want to get through this filler dungeon. Ah, good. Oh, about time you showed up to pull your weight. Phew, I finally caught up. You two, come here. Come to my side. Alright. Feels like everyone's here. It seems you are working hard to resurrect Zekrom, the other Dragon-type Pokemon, aren't you? Not really, seeing as how this was a huge red herring. Appears the Darkstone you seek is not here. Well, then, congratulations are in order. Snek, you are chosen by our king. If you truly desire to keep the world as it is, where Pokemon live alongside people, you must bring the other Dragon-type Pokemon spoken of in legend and battle with our king. Okay, I need to stop and rant again, but this is different, because this is about the narrative, not the mechanics. Wouldn't it be so much more interesting if one of the options you had was to reject the partnership with the legendary dragon? Hear me out. Because the knee-jerk reaction is, Snek, that's dumb. because you're passing up a free Pokedex entry. And second, it's a free legendary. You're getting a strong Pokemon as part of the story. Well, that's entirely the point, isn't it? The point of the story is for you to assemble the team of Pokemon that you want. Like, when I first played through, my electric type was Zebstrika. But then the game's like, oh, no. Don't use Zebstrika. Use this objectively better Dragon Lightning type that we're just gonna give you as part of the story progression. Doesn't that cheapen the experience? Doesn't that take away customization because you're literally just given tiers of choices? I mean, who's gonna pick the weaker choice except just to make a point? There are some people who are petty and vindictive, like myself, who might actually do that purely out of curiosity or purely to prove a point. But, like, as I am now, I'm likely N's equal, or his rival in all respects. Giving me legendaries would just make me his better. And that's the thing that's kind of frustrating here, is like, you're taking away elements of choice by just making the options, here's your lightning type, or here's your just objectively better lightning type. Otherwise, Team Plasma will steal every Pokemon from every person in the world and release them all. Release them, you say? But what's to stop people from just recapturing them again? Do the Pokemon who live with their trainers actually want that? Is the liberation you talk about really just stealing Pokemon from people? What's this? Champion Alder, even though illness took the Pokemon that had been your partner for many years and you haven't had a serious battle in all that time. Wow, that was like the least elegant way to construct that sentence, and the worst possible way to crowbar that fact into this part of the plot. Yet, sis, you are guilty of so many writing sins, like it's not even funny. No, it's a little funny, but it's not, you know what I mean. Even you who ordered the Elite Four to protect the Pokemon League and left to wander the Unova region alone. Even a champion like you now wants to protect a world where Pokemon and people live together? It's not really that he's on some kind of sabbatical. It's more like no one in Unova knows how to do their job. So they just kind of meander away from their station where they should be at all times during work hours as sanctioned by the Pokemon League, but there doesn't seem to be any rules to how the Pokemon League is allowed to operate. This world's a little bit laissez-faire in terms of how they handle regulation. Team Plasma's king will show the people of Unova that he is stronger than a champion who keeps Pokemon bound. Okay. And just like the hero who founded Unova, he will be accompanied by the legendary Pokemon. He will give this order: trainers, release your Pokemon. For this, we have prepared a suitable castle for the legendary Reshiram and our king. I won't lose. I'll fight for all trainers who love their Pokemon, for all Pokemon who believe in their trainers. Our king has no interest in you. He's already determined the victory against you is assured. So you stayed behind just to tell me that, just to make a fool of me? Of course not. I'm doing this out of kindness. Yes, kindness. I'm making sure the champion doesn't get hurt for no reason. Granted, the moment when someone loses all hope, I really do love to watch that moment. Well then, farewell. You're gonna make this big dramatic villain speech like, oh, I love it when they lose hope. I love democracy. And then you're just gonna, okay, bye, and then just leave. Like, dude, why were you even here? Like, why did you waste our time? Alder, what are you going to do now? It seems like the only choice is return to the Pokemon League and battle Anne. But it bothers me to do exactly what gets us once. More importantly, what should we do about the Darkstone? Alder, why don't we go outside for now? Yeah, it's a good idea. Try to breathe in here. It'll be pretty musty for sure. It's hard to put into words, but I'll never forgive them for this. What could that guy called In possibly want? Could he be trying to prove he is right by winning the battle of the two dragons? Yep, phone call. Yellow. Mush mushy. Snek. Snek. Hello, Snek. Oh, you picked up. Hey, Snek. Prof, calm down. Come to the museum in Nacrene City immediately. Right away, got it? I mean, right now. As soon as I get my P-Dove. I can hear Professor Juniper's voice from clear over here. You're like 2 paces away from me, man. Seems like something big is happening. I wonder what is waiting at the museum in Nacrene City. Yeah, I wonder. Like I said, the game literally points it out with a big blaring neon sign. I'll go on ahead. Show off. The team I assembled can't fly. I'll look around here once more. I don't want to believe what that Getsus says. You should head for Nacrene City Museum. Okay, this episode was a little negative, so next time I'm going to pick up with a fresh take and maybe a more optimistic outlook as we actually advance the story. I believe we'll be heading to Nacrene in order to reveal the obvious unreveal, and after which we'll be heading to the next and final gym. I plan to pick up a surprise helping hand and maybe a returning old face to give us an assist with the final gem before we enter the endgame. I'll see you guys there.